How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Black Metal Rebellion. I'm your host, Jesse Morgan. Ah, the last couple of days have just been utter ass for me. Just been stressed out, and depression's kind of been hitting again, as it does every now and then for me. So I said, fuck it. You know what? I'm gonna try to shake this off and do one of the things that I love to do and love to talk about, and that's Nerd Corner. And I'm going to sit and talk about some DC and Marvel comic stuff. Yeah. So, anyways, recently there's been a few trailers popping up for some new Marvel and DC things. First up being that of Wonder Woman. Trailer looks amazing. It's basically starting to tell the history of the DC Entertainment Universe. Wonder Woman and her God damn it, Amazons. That's the word I'm looking for. The Amazons are preparing to fight this war, oncoming war. Wonder Woman meets her kind of the main dude that she meets in every single one of her comic origin stories, and the Wonder Woman animated film that came out kind of reminds me of like a Hal Jordan type character. And then you see her kind of trying to integrate with regular society. You see a couple battles with maybe Nazis, I'm not sure or not. And you get some pretty sweet fight sequences nonetheless. And you see a villain with like half their face kind of missing and like a mask on. It'd be pretty interesting to see how all that works, and maybe a giant end battle with Ares. That'll be pretty sweet. So, needless to say, really looking forward to Wonder Woman. It's fingers crossed going to kick off this DC Entertainment Universe the way Captain America, the first Avenger, kicked off Marvel's Entertainment Universe. Next is the Justice League trailer that dropped. Holy shit. That looks like it's going to be fucking amazing. And I don't need to tell you that I'm really, really looking forward to a live action Justice League. They seem to have kind of learned the lessons that they were kind of being shown by the audience and critics from the last couple of movies, why people didn't so much enjoy them, why the critics didn't so much enjoy them. The critics can go fuck themselves, to be honest, but hey, because I enjoyed all those movies. I didn't really see too much wrong with them. I liked what they presented. I'm not a snobby film fucking guru person who loves to like take nitpicky pot shots at films. I just go in, I sit and I watch it and I let it tell me the story. But man, Justice League, from the way it's being portrayed and on the trailers, I think a lot of people are going to be turning their opinions around on DC, and DC's future looks pretty damn bright if they continue on in this vein. Like Aquaman in the trailer looks like a fucking badass. Anyone who knows me knows I fucking love Aquaman, have been down with Aquaman before they even announced Justice League. I loved his appearances in Batman Brave and the Bold. I loved his appearances on the Justice League animated series. Just an all-around cool fucking character. So, really stoked for that. Wonder Woman seems to be kicking a lot of ass in this one too. The Parademon invasion looks pretty sick. Can't wait to see Steppenwolf flex his muscles probably at the very end of the movie and start whooping ass. I know a lot of people are also wondering what the fuck is going on with Superman. Is he going to be in it? Is he not going to be in it? Well, you can pretty much guarantee that Superman is going to make an appearance. Hopefully not until the end of the film. And he's probably going to be in his black suit, which would be pretty cool. I really don't think he's going to be in a mullet. He might have longer hair, but I don't think he's going to have a fucking mullet. That would be stupid. The mullet is like the worst haircut ever, besides like the 80s like giant hair. Which is why they didn't fucking do that for Luke Cage. because it's stupid looking. um, but yeah, all in all, just it looks really cool. Ezra Miller's version of the Flash is seemingly looking pretty neat. Looks pretty badass. I can't wait to see their kind of like freeze frame, kind of like him zooming through like stopped time shots, sort of like what they probably did with Quicksilver in the last X-Men films. I think that'll be really cool if they could like adapt a few scenes that are like that. Uh, man, the new one, the new member being Cyborg, is kind of up in the air right now. The animation or CGI for his metal mother box outfit could use a little bit of tweaking in my opinion, just because it looks too reflecty. It doesn't look like metal. It looks like shiny refracting light. I don't know. I don't know if it's just because that's supposed to be the material of the mother box, or if they're just didn't release a good uh, finalization of his suit yet, and that's just kind of what the trailer's showing off. But then if they're not going to show off the best animation or final CGI rendering, they shouldn't have put it in the trailer, because every fucking critic out there is looking to tear down DC and just tell them how not Marvel they are. So like I don't think them showing Cyborg without the best CGI rendering it was the greatest idea. But either way, he's an interesting character. He has a lot of potential for a lot of crazy powers, considering what the mother box can do for him. If anyone's seen what he did in Justice League War, or if anyone's seen basically what the Jaime Reyes Blue Beetle can do, that's pretty much what Cyborg could probably do and or more. So it'll be interesting to see what he does in the film and how his character develops. But yeah, I am really fucking stoked for this. Cannot wait to see it. Can't wait to see Wonder Woman. I unfortunately never got around to getting into theaters to see Logan, but it's going to be coming out on DVD in a month, so I'll probably just pick it up and watch it on my widescreen TV, so fuck it. Let's see. Thor Ragnarok also recently came out. A trailer for it came out. It looked really, really promising, and even though most people weren't really the fondest of Thor Dark World, I liked it. Once again, all these movies that people are hating and shaking a shit on, I'm just thinking to myself, I don't see the problem. I enjoyed them. I enjoy pretty much any Marvel or DC film. Um, so maybe I'm biased, maybe I'm naive, but for the most part, I just really enjoyed them. So this new Thor film, from the trailers, uh, contents, looks like it's just going to be even better. And the fact that they're kind of weaving in the Planet Hulk storyline too makes it really interesting. I know someone said that, oh, they better fill in why the Hulk's on this planet, because we didn't see him leave Earth in the last Avengers movie or whatever. Well, you kind of saw him got on that like jet thing, and he's kind of like heading off, and they don't know where he is. So he probably self-exiled himself because he doesn't want to like cause shit on Earth anymore. So he probably just like, well, fuck this. I'm sending myself off to space so I don't hurt any of my friends or loved ones. Duh. How hard of a fucking jump is that to make? But whatever. I'm pretty sure they'll tell you in Thor Ragnarok anyways. Marvel normally doesn't let fans down when it comes to explaining why things are the way they are. So it should be interesting to see what else they throw in there, though. Like, I'm interested to see Korg, the Rock character, see how that plays out. Interested to see what Meek does. I really like the Planet Hulk animated film that they released like forever ago. It was really cool, so I enjoyed what happened there. I don't think we're going to see Beta Ray Bill, but that would be kind of cool. Uh, Hela, she's looks like a pretty formidable villain, and everyone seems to be thinking that she's going to be one of the big bads of the Infinity War. So we'll have to see about that, I guess. What's another one? Spider-Man: Homecoming. Uh, Once again, it's one of those things where people absolutely hated the Amazing Spider-Man series with Andrew Garfield. I really liked it. The only thing that I didn't really enjoy was the Rhino at the very end. They didn't need that at the end of the movie. They could have done fine without it. If they're gonna do a Rhino, they should just do a gray Hulk-looking dude with a fucking horn on his head, like the Spider-Man animated series from the '90s. It's not that hard. But this new Spider-Man looks pretty sweet. I like how they're adding a lot of Iron Man in it. I know some people are complaining that, oh, it's going to be too Tony Stark centric, whatever. But honestly, Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man sells. And a lot of people obviously didn't have too much faith in the Spider-Man series after Sony got done doing what they did to it. Once again, I don't mind it. I didn't mind what they did, but a lot of people have a huge problem with it. So that's why I guess they're putting more Tony Stark in this than would normally any other Spider-Man film. Besides the fact that Marvel just recently got the rights back to Spider-Man briefly, so but I don't know. I think the new Spider-Man's gonna be fucking awesome. There's no reason why it won't be. It's got Dude Face, who played Batman, Michael Keaton. He's playing the fucking the Vulture, so that should be sweet. I don't know. His powers weren't really the greatest in the animated series in the '90s. He just kind of stole people's life force to make himself younger again. But they're obviously doing something different with this Vulture, so hey, and Michael Keaton, amazing actor, so there you go. I don't really care who plays Mary Jane. I don't really care who his chubby Mexican friend is. Uh, Ned Leeds, whatever. I mean, unless this Ned Leeds character becomes someone super duper important and funny or cool or whatever, I really don't care. He just seems to be like kind of those comedy sidekicks that has no powers. So whatever. Hopefully he'll at least be funny or something. Um, I don't know. All Spider-Man's new powers seem to be pretty cool too. I mean, powers, i.e., like the suit upgrades. He'll have a probably pretty interesting story or character arc when he gets stripped of that new suit by Tony Stark and has to work his way back into proving himself with that old school kind of hoodie and like uh, steampunk goggles. But I don't know. I think it's going to be really good. I'm going to hopefully get into theaters to see it, but uh, I don't know. My track record of actually going to the theater to see movies has garbage lately, so I don't know. We'll see. And then there's that kind of like Deadpool 2 teaser. That was funny. I Some of the little Easter eggs are kind of cool. Him not being able to save that guy in the alley kind of irked me a bit. It's like it was funny. I get it. It's Deadpool, and it's like that cheeky kind of anti-hero humor. But I'm like, no. Why did you take so long? You could have saved the guy. He's just like an innocent old dude getting mugged. But yeah, I don't know. Besides that, looking forward to Deadpool 2, and kind of out of the blue, Josh Brolin, aka Thanos, was cast as Cable. So that was interesting. I don't know if I could really see anyone else doing it justice. Josh Brolin's a really good character. He played Jonah Hex in DC Comics a while back. I enjoyed that movie. I don't know what other people thought about it. Don't really care. Um, I mean, obviously, let me know what you thought about it in the comments, and I will hit you up and talk about it for sure. Because DC Comics, fuck yeah. But I think he's good for the character. He probably needs to like work out a bit more because the Cable in the animated series and the comics seems to be a little bit more ripped, son. So maybe do some curls or something. I don't know, but don't skip leg day either. You don't want to look like fucking Johnny Thunder, Johnny. I don't know, Johnny Bravo. That's what I'm trying to think of. But yeah, no, I think Josh Brolin was a good pick for Cable. Why the fuck not? And Guardians Volume 2, don't even really need to talk about that. Guardians Volume 2 is going to be just as great as the first one. Looking forward to seeing what's up with Ego the Living Planet. I'm going to really love trying to hear how they explain why he has a human body. Because he's just a fucking planet. How the fuck did he get a human body? I don't know. Maybe the foliage formed into, like, I don't know. It'll be interesting to hear how they explain that away, though. I don't think we're going to see Thanos in the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, though. Yondu, I don't like Yondu. I don't like the person who plays Yondu. I didn't like his fucking character in the first movie. I didn't like that actor's character in The Walking Dead. I thought he's a dick. I just don't like that actor, so I really don't care. They say that Yondu's story is kind of the big thing in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, but we'll see, I guess. That character, that actor, I don't know. He just always plays dick characters, man. It's hard to like that guy. But I'm looking forward to the Groot stuff. Looking forward to the Rocket Raccoon stuff. I don't really give a shit about Nebula. She kind of looks like a giant bitch. So fuck Nebula. You know, she seems to be like a jealous twat too. Oh, Thanos favors Gamora more of you. You're his favorite daughter. Who gives a fuck? Thanos is the mad tyrant. He's literally nuts. He's driven mad with power, and he only cares about dating death. Literally. Why do you care so much who he favors? Go get a fucking girlfriend, Nebula, because we know you're a giant lesbo. We just know it, okay? That bald head says it all. But no, I don't know. Besides dicking around, I think Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is going to be fantastic. Can't wait to see that either. Just lots of good films coming our way. I think DC is going to prove themselves to be pretty on the level once they get there. I mean, yeah, sure, Marvel has a few films under its belt already that are really good and successful, but DC is going to turn it around. Like DC Wave 1 didn't start off the greatest. Like, once again, I enjoyed these films, but based on critics and like quite a few other people, Man of Steel wasn't the most well received. A lot of people had a problem with him snapping Zod's neck in it, but honestly, the fucker had it coming. So fuck Zod. Good on Superman for snapping that guy's neck. I would have done it. Batman versus Superman would have probably done better if they had released the extended cut in theaters, because the extended cut just kind of stitches everything together properly and makes it a little bit more cohesive, and the storyline is a little bit more smooth that way. So considering the chop cut it got in theaters, the reviews and stuff it got wasn't as fair. So I don't know, I liked it. And then almost halfway through wave 1 of the DCEU ended up being Suicide Squad. A lot of people liked it better than Batman vs Superman and Man of Steel, but then a lot of people also took shit on it because reasons. I guess Jared Leto, oh my god, he's not Heath Ledger, so fuck this movie. Oh my god, I didn't understand the villain, so fuck this movie. Really? Really? Like, give your head a shake. You're just nitpicking. I mean, sure, the Suicide Squad didn't really need Jared Leto in it. Didn't really need the Joker in it. They could have just alluded to, you know, the Joker being out there, and maybe took like a picture and just kind of slapped it down on the desk with Amanda Waller explaining what's up with Harley Quinn. Or they should have just done 3 times as much of Joker's scenes and made like a little bit longer movie, but added more circling around him. And it because with the amount, it was not enough and it was too little at the same time. I think that's the problem. They just didn't have enough Joker as well as having too little Joker. Um, I don't know. I liked it. The gangstery look, and him being a giant gangster isn't new. Fucking Jack Nicholson did it, and also the Silver Age Joker fucking was a gangster. So who cares? And then Wonder Woman, when this comes out, I am about 99.9% certain everyone's gonna love it. All the feminists are gonna jump for joy and do backflips and not shave their armpits. Uh, all the dudes are gonna love it because Gal Gadot is stereotypically hot, and then she's also kicking people's asses, so add another notch of hotness there. Uh, I think the big bad villain scene at the very end is probably going to be pretty sweet, and I like I like modern takes on war films. That's really cool too. Like old war movies are kind of lame and boring, but modern takes on it is kind of cool. So I'm interested to see how they mix like the DCEU kind of history in with like the World War II or one or two kind of era. I'm interested in seeing how Gal Gadot and her fighter pilot dude and whatever kind of scrounged up team that she gets that's in that photo that everyone sees in Batman versus Superman take out like Hitler's army and that Ares guy. Like it should be pretty sweet. And that Dr. Poison or whatever the villain name. I'm really interested in seeing more about that because I don't actually know too much about Dr. Poison, if that's even the character's name. Let me know in the comments. And then finally, the last one in the first wave of Justice or DCEU being Justice League. If anyone isn't turned around by the end of Wonder Woman, guaranteed they'll be turned around by the end of Justice League. They cannot not be. Like the Parademons, the Flash and Cyborg's backstory, and fucking Aquaman being the biggest badass ever. Like Jason Momoa, fucking the dude that killed like tons of people in fucking uh, uh, Game of Thrones. The Dalthrakian dude, yeah, the most badass Aquaman ever. Like I'm just waiting for him to just pick up a great white shark and just launch it at a fucking parademon and just gobble that shit up. So it's gonna be badass. Everyone's gonna be shutting their mouths and applauding DC by the end of Phase 1 or Wave 1 probably is what they're gonna call it since Marvel kind of has dibs on the whole phase thing. So, but before I wrap this up, I got a lot of cool things coming, or we've got a lot of cool things coming from DC in the future too, like Aquaman solo film, probably showing how he becomes king of Atlantis, how he ends up with Mera, the original king of Atlantis before it got sunk is probably going to come back in some form. He's going to have to fight him off, and then he's going to have to fight off against Ocean Master and Black Manta. Like there's probably like 3 huge villains in that he's going to have to fuck up, and it's going to be really sweet. The Flash, looking forward to Ezra Miller's version of the Flash, even though I still cannot get that fucking scene out of my head. What movie was he in with that chick that no one thinks is funny? The Trainwreck? Is that what it's called? I don't know, but Ezra Miller is like this weird teenage kid in that, and he ends up like getting her to ride him and like slap him around, and his mom walks in on it. Yeah, anyways, that movie, I just can't get that scene out of that movie out of my head when it comes to Ezra Miller. But beyond that, I think he'll be a really good Flash. It'll be interesting to see their, like, DC's take on that version of the Flash. It'll be interesting to see who they use as the villain in that film. Like I on one hand, they might have to use the Reverse Flash, but god damn it, I hope they don't use another speedster as the villain. Like, how many superhero films do we need where the villain has the exact same powers, if not pretty damn close to the hero? It's dumb. I don't know why anyone does that. I mean, I kind of do because it makes the fight, I don't know, sort of equal and on the same playing field, and they have to kind of like use more than just their powers to beat the villain. But it is so overdone. Like the Flash series on the WB, how many fucking speedster villains do you need? Stop it! God damn. Uh, and then besides that, there's also going to be the Black Adam or Shazam film with The Rock as Black Adam. I don't know if I have high hopes for this film or not. It'll be really cool to finally see Shazam or Captain Marvel. Fuck you, Marvel. Captain Marvel as Billy Batson uh, on the big screen and like on live action. But I don't know. I like him because he's a little bit more upbeat and less of a dick than Superman. But he's kind of cheesy. I mean, hence his nickname being the Big Red Cheese in the comic books, because he's one of those don't don't cut school, eat your vegetables, da 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 da. You know that stereotypical hero bullshit. Yeah, I think that's some of the stuff he does. But on the other hand, I think it would be really neat to see the dynamic between this like 9-year old getting the powers of an adult extremely powerful superhero, and how as that adult superhero acting like a 9-year old at some ways while he's fighting the bad guy who's probably super fucking deadly serious. And the only thing is with Black Adam being the Rock, he's known to do the odd kind of like jokey thing too. So anyways, besides that, I'm going to wrap this up really quickly because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be done in 2 minutes if I don't hurry up. We're also looking at a Cyborg solo film. That'll be neat. Hopefully it's well received. Hopefully they do the character justice. Hopefully they get their CGI like reined in and make him look better. We're also looking at the Suicide. We're also looking at the Suicide Squad 2 film, which I don't know if that's entirely necessary. If they add the right characters, it might be interesting, and if they get the right plot, it might be interesting, and hopefully can save the series somehow. I mean, once again, I like the last film, but from the critics and naysayers' eyes, hopefully they do it right, and they have a better story, and have a better villain. And then, holy fuck, then we got the Batman, Nightwing, Batgirl, Gotham City Sirens, and maybe the Green Lantern Corps sometime over the next few years. Holy shit, that is a lot of DC films, and they're going to be here by 2020. So they're going to be cramming a lot of DC into these next years. Hopefully they do well. Hopefully they win over the critics. Hopefully I actually get to the theater to see some of these. Anyway, that's the end of this Nerd Corner. Hope you liked it. Let me know if you want me to talk about anything specifically in the next Nerd Corner about any of these topics. Cheers and stay sick, my friends, and keep it nerdy.